This is me 1 day after buying Crocs. This is me 2 days after buying Crocs. This is me 3 days after buying Crocs.
I remember a time where the only people who I knew that wore Crocs were nurses and pharmacists. You know, hospital workers and such. I personally was never a fan of Crocs prior to about 3 years or so ago. Yeah, I guess you could say I fell victim to the hype too. And in fact, they're colloquially known as the most loved and most hated shoe of all time, widely lauded for being ugly. But for some reason, over the last few years, Crocs have actually become cool. How did this happen? How did an atypical looking, highly specialized shoe become part of pop culture? Well, let's find out. I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com, and this is the Rise of Crocs. But before we get started, stop for a second and smash that like button for me. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to get the YouTube algorithm to notice us and stop doing us dirty. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. It all started with boats. 3 guys, one named Scott, Landon, and George, who met through friends in high school and college, went sailing in the Caribbean in the early 2000s. They reportedly came across a boating shoe while out that was made of a sturdy foam kind of material called Crocs. When they got back home to the US, they got to work and acquired the rights to the manufacturing process. Crocs made their debut in 2002 at an international boat show, and oh boy, did they sell fast. By 2004, the company sealed the deal with exclusive rights to the material, and production ramped up even further. The popularity of Crocs was driven by praise from fans of the extreme comfort of the shoe, even as they were widely roasted for their looks. Being a boating shoe, Crocs were designed to be comfortable and easy to keep clean. But this also meant that they appealed to anyone who was on their feet all day and needed to keep their shoes clean, such as restaurant workers or healthcare workers. But like anything that gets really popular a bit too quickly, Crocs attracted some haters. There was a blog that started in 2007 that was solely dedicated to the elimination of Crocs and those who thought that their excuses for wearing them were valid. The brand's sales began to flatten in the latter part of the decade as the novelty of Crocs began to wear off. The company closed hundreds of locations, significantly eliminated SKUs to focus on their core clog, and slowly began wrapping up marketing efforts under the new CEO, Andrew Rees. They even managed to make Time Magazine's list of the 50 worst inventions of 2010. But you shouldn't listen to haters. You should never listen to haters. And here's why. Over the last 6 years or so, Crocs have been making moves and made them pretty trendy. It was in 2016 when Crocs had their first high fashion moment when designer Christopher Kane at London Fashion Week. Balenciaga took it to the next level with the release of the platform Crocs in Paris Fashion Week, which sold out immediately. Next was Streetwear, through a collab with To Alife in 2018, and 3 new models, the Art, Sport, and Clog Classic. The iconic collaboration with Post Malone brought Crocs to the forefront of pop culture even more so, especially with Gen Zers. Suddenly, celebs started popping up in them, and more people were wearing them as a fashion statement. Not to mention the fact that athleisure is bigger now than ever before. There was a time where wearing sweats or a pair of slides out of the house would have you looking like a bum, but not now, and Crocs would take advantage of this too. Then came the gibbets market, custom pieces that you could buy and attach to your Crocs to make them more you. Crocs bought the gibbets company and further grew their popularity. Crocs' innovative prints include glitter, camo, and Disney Pixar characters, as well as an extensive range of gibbet add-ons and charms that are said to be ideal for social media marketing. Hashtag Crocs has more than 1.5 billion views on TikTok. Shockingly enough, many people blame COVID for Crocs' popularity boom also. Nah, really. In 2020, when many people were forced to work from home, Crocs were viewed as a niche middle ground for both lounging and errand running. But what thrusted Crocs into pop culture though? Because just because something is useful doesn't always make it cool. Thing is, the concept of popularity and cool are often confused, and Crocs are riding a wave of a wider clog trend. Many brands have since made clog-like shoes, including the Yeezy Foam Runner, Birkenstock's Boston Clog, Louis Vuitton got in the mix, Uggs, and many more. They're comfortable, cheap, very practical, and functional. They tick all the boxes except beautiful. But hey, Doc Martens, Birkenstocks, and Uggs are all dog-ass ugly too, at least in my opinion. But they're still loved for their comfort and functionality. Crocs, being one of the most popular brands in this style, have benefited greatly. According to Today, Crocs classic clogs are the #1 item on Amazon's top bestsellers list for clothing, shoes, and jewelry. Crocs operates 351 stores worldwide now, including full price, outlet, kiosk, and in-store formats, and 42% of revenue came from international sales in over 80 countries. Designed with a specific purpose in mind, Crocs cater to their intended audience, and by staying true to their brand and said audience, they eventually picked up a wider, more unexpected demographic. Crocs were well placed to capitalize on recent buying changes, moving into personalization early, charting a digital-first strategy, and then blanketing the market with a good mix of collaborations. All has powered the brand into the cool sphere for the younger crowd. They showed us that the ugly duckling doesn't always need to transform into a beautiful swan just to get dates. But what do you think? Are you a fan of Crocs? Do you think they're ugly? Hit us in the comment section and let us know. Also, if you enjoyed the video, then what you waiting for? Hit the like button for us. Liking and sharing each video helps us to continue to grow as a channel here on YouTube. And if you want to be updated every time we drop a new episode, then hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell. That way you will be dinged each time a new video drops. But with that being said, I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com signing out. Until next time, peace.